Alright, hello and welcome. It's Wes here, and today we're going to be doing If You're Not Talking With Them. That's right. I haven't done this video in probably a month, so I guess today's the day. So I do apologize for anybody that has been waiting for me to post a video. Not a lot of you out there that keep watching, but I do appreciate anybody that has been watching me from the start. Alright, things have been kind of crazy lately. I've had some family stuff I had to deal with. Well, it was actually pretty much unavoidable, but it is slowly transitioning, moving away from whatever this problem was, which I don't want to discuss. So hopefully I'll be able to get back onto a, schedule again for doing videos, all right? If you are new to this channel, both this video and Let's Spy on Them are about ex-partners. I understand that's not everybody's cup of tea, so if you're looking for kind of tarot videos about new love and, how to conduct your life or whatever like that, there's other tarot readers that are a lot better at that than I am, so go and check them out. But if you're interested in an ex-partner video, you're at the right place, all right? You can find the timestamps at your convenience in the comment section down below. Just look for my name. It'll be highlighted and pinned. And show more info and you'll see all the blue links there. I post the timestamps for your convenience. What a thing. So you don't have to find the segment yourself. Also, closed captioning. This has been a long-standing issue on this channel of people wondering, why can't I access the captions? The problem with this particular video is that I do it live, which means YouTube has to process the video. And that unfortunately takes 24 hours. Given that the videos often are 1 to 2 hours, up to 3 hours, it just takes YouTube time to go through the whole video and then dub the captions, all right? So if you're somebody that is hell-bent on wanting captions for the video, you just have to wait around 24 hours. Do apologize about that, but there's nothing I can do about it. Trust me. I have explored that issue to death. All right, but yes, I do enable captions. It just takes a bit of time. Apart from that, thank you for anybody that leaves great comments on my channel or likes my videos, even when it doesn't resonate. There's a lot of people that just support me, just to support me. So you know who you are. I do appreciate it. All right. As always, with any type of tarot reading, if it doesn't make sense to you or it's not resonating, don't force the message. Tarot's one of those things where it's mysterious and weird. How it works, who really knows, to be honest. There's a lot of theories behind it. But at the end of the day, it's a mysterious kind of art. All right? So just go with it. When a message is there for you, it'll shine. All right? So hopefully I'll obviously get some good messages today. We'll see what comes through. I think we'll start with Aries. Oh, and if you need to get a hold of me, as always, you can find my email in just a little drop-down tab of this video, the description box. All right? If you need to leave a comment, you want to ask a question, or you're looking for a personal read, you can contact me through my email, and I'll get back to you. All right. I think we got all of that out the way. And we do have the power of a black cat in the background. Chief is with us. Can you believe it? After many cosmic ventures into places I've never been and probably don't want to go, Chief is back, getting a strong astral power nap. Couldn't really make the bed because I don't want to disturb Princess over there. Alright, hopefully we'll get some great energy from Chief today. Let's check the feed. Do I have a feed? Yay or nay? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. Keep that going. Keep that going. Keep it going. There we go. Okay. Aries. How are my great Aries doing? All right. Tell them about the person our Aries are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know about this person? It says the moon, Aries. So, the moon doesn't really, for me, it doesn't really tell me a great deal here, other than I need to, there we go, other than I need to polish the lens, but I don't think it made a difference. There's like this little spot that I swear I can see it, and it just bothers me. There we go. I think that made a difference. Anyways, moon energy. Tell me about the moon. What do we need to know? Why does it say that? Why does it say the Three of Pentacles? So it doesn't say a great deal, in my opinion, Aries. It's talking about a person that you gave up working with. It's saying there's something that's unknown about this person. All right? Probably suggesting that there's more to the story than you knew. Or it's suggesting there was some factor in the background that you're unaware of that complicated the situation. In other words, you may have assumed there was reasons why this person was being difficult or had been difficult, but there was something complicating the situation. That's just a guess, right? Tell me about this person our Aries are not talking to, this person that apparently was difficult to work with, I'm assuming. How do they feel towards Aries? Okay, so it says Nine of Wands. This person feels you're quite difficult to get along with. What a surprise. Is anyone really shocked? Two of Swords. They're not sure what to think about you. I wouldn't say what to think, more like what to do about the situation. What does this really mean so far? This is basically suggesting a person, Aries, that is looking at you like you're some type of math problem, where it's like, how do I solve this? Because every time I try to do it the right way, it just seems to come up with the wrong answer, right? Another issue here is this could also be an Aries that has very specific values or ways they want to conduct life. A lot of this could have been from your past situations. You know, maybe you had some bad experiences, or you've just gone through the ringer. And so you kind of conduct yourself in a certain way that's really there to protect yourself because you don't want to get fucked. All right? This may clash with this person, and they may feel it as a barrier. Another barrier could also be that you've had some negative interactions with this person that have complicated things a little further. All right? Why is this person not talking with Aries? So it says Seven of Pentacles reversed. So this doesn't really tell us anything extra that I don't really know. Essentially, it's still it's still kind of implying that this person is seeing a problem that they don't know how to solve. All right. This energy is also describing an individual that's looking at you, Aries, like there's been things that they attempted to try and rectify or resolve or figure out or something like that, but there wasn't any solution, or it just kept on going around in circles. All right. If that really didn't happen, like for some of you it may not have been that intense, it is still suggesting nonetheless a person that's viewing whatever it is, something about you and them when they come together. Maybe there are things that work, but there's some problems here that they're not seeing. They're like seeing things that they're wondering or questioning, can it be resolved or something? Maybe it's like a way you act, or it's a way they act when you guys are together. Like there's some little problem that comes up, or maybe they do something or act a certain way and you don't like that, but maybe for them they don't want to compromise or change that. So it's like, well, what do we do in that situation? It's something like that. Now, I understand when I'm doing this reading, it kind of sounds like I'm just dogging you, Aries, but the reality is that I'm just kind of explaining what I'm seeing from their side. Okay? Whether you like it or not, that's just kind of what it's suggesting. It doesn't mean to say you're a bad person. I'm just saying from this person, they're having some type of issue, like, I don't know. Their values may differ from yours. How does this person, what is this person's interest in Aries? The person that Aries is not talking with. What is the positive here? What is their interest in Aries? What Knight of Wands? Then what gets in the way of the Knight of Wands between the Aries and this person? What complicates the Knight of Wands? I don't know if I should take that or not. So it says Devil reversed. I'm actually going to take this upright, but we'll keep it reversed, but I'm looking at it more like it's upright. So even if we take it, okay, so my initial impression is that the devil here should be upright, but for the sake of authenticity, we'll just keep it reversed here, all right? It is kind of implying that this person sees, once again, some type of problem or dilemma that goes around in circles. The devil reversed is synergistic with the Seven of Pentacles reversed because, once again, it's talking about some type of problem that they encounter with you that keeps coming up. This person does want to come out of that, or in a perfect world would like to resolve that. But it kind of suggests in this reading their optimism is not high. That's possible. What do they like about this connection with you? It's suggesting the Knight of Wands, which is fun energy. Can also talk about spontaneous energy. It can also definitely talk about sexual chemistry. I understand that there's certain people on this channel that don't like it when I talk about sexual anything, but that's the reality. It can talk about that, especially if you're dealing with a masculine energy. All right? They may like the pizzazz or something wild when they deal with you. All right? But the Knight of Wands doesn't talk about very long-lasting energy. It can be committing to something, but how long it lasts is another story. All right. This person may definitely like interactions that are sometimes for a couple weeks or a couple months, you know, when they haven't been around you. It may be appealing to them. But it's also possible that after that novelty wears off, the problems come back and then they want to bounce out. All right. Will this person reach out to Aries? Queen of Wands reversed. So there's you. That's Seven of Swords here. This person may feel that certain areas are avoiding them or don't want to deal with them. So it's probably implying, we also have the King of Wands reversed here. The Queen of Wands reversed would also fit with this energy. It is also somebody that's resistant to them. Especially if this person's feeling like you need to change or do something different, Aries. And you're like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not compromising for you. What happens if Aries just reached out to this person they're not talking to? So it says world over the Knight of Wands. So, I mean, for what it's worth, Aries, it's suggestive. Maybe you would have a better shot at reaching out to them. But some of you, I don't think are going to do that. But I don't really see them doing much here. This person overall, the energy is not too favorable, Aries. It's showing somebody stuck in a rock and a hard place type thing. They don't know what to do. Alright, about the situation. If nothing changed, at least from that energy, you're either going to get nothing or they eventually come to some conclusion about something. Right? But that's what I got for you. Take it or leave it energy. I don't see this person doing a whole lot. Taurus. Tell me about the person there of Taurus. Are not talking with. Who is this person? It says 10 of Wands. This is an individual that you've struggled with, or you tried to make it work, Taurus, and it just didn't. I would assume. I mean, it's an ex-partner reading. Alright. The 10 of Wands here can just tell us. The 10 of Wands can sometimes be a good card, Taurus, but it really depends on the context, and we don't have enough information yet. So I have to kind of assume that it's talking about burdens of some sort. So it may be suggesting an individual to you that you feel has been either a bit draining to deal with, or it's just been a very slow, snail-paced kind of connection or past interaction. All right. You ain't going very fast when you're carrying a load like this. All right. Some of you may have also felt there was just a lot of challenges or obstacles in this connection. All right. Sometimes the positive with the 10 of Wands can be if there's enough persistence between two people, you cross a new chapter. But if you're separated, it's not really going in the right direction. All right. Can also, for a small portion of you, may feel things were one-sided, where one of you was doing more than the other. All right. Tell me about the person our Taurus were having a lot of burdens or struggles with. The person they're not talking with. How does this person feel towards Taurus? We have 8 of Swords reversed. How else do they feel about Taurus? Okay. We have Death. This person may feel, Taurus, that you no longer worried about this connection. For some of you, they may feel it's just over. You've kind of let things go and you've moved on. All right. Why are they not talking with Taurus? Person that Taurus is not talking with. Why is this person not talking with Taurus? Three of Pentacles reversed. Again, this person may feel that you're just doing your own thing, Taurus. You don't really have much interest in wanting to work with them anymore. Alright, the Three of Pentacles, when it's a reversed card, can just directly talk about me. Alright, it's not exactly wanting to listen to another person or cooperate with them. It can also just describe somebody that just kind of feels like doing my own thing. I don't need your advice or your opinions. This energy is really showing a person that kind of views you, Taurus, as somebody that's just doing you. How do they see Taurus overall? This person kind of sees you as somebody that they feel is a little bit imbalanced, or like you, some things don't make sense about you. You have a lot of ups and you have downs. How does Taurus see this peach. Person they're not talking with. So we have the Two of Swords, and it went over the Temperance reversed. I mean, it's almost somewhat implying that you, just like, you know, you kind of feel the same way about them. So they kind of feel that you have your ups and downs or whatever like that, and it's almost implying from a Taurus standpoint you pretty much see the same thing as they do. So it's yeah. So it's a bit of a mirroring energy there. Will this person that Taurus is not talking with reach out? Taurus. So we have High Priestess. There's probably going to be a bit of a silent period, Taurus. There's not a whole lot we can get from the High Priestess, but it most certainly does talk about keeping your lips sealed. All right. So I don't expect too much, unfortunately, from this person. Part of the reason is likely that this person just views it as a done situation and you've moved on. That's one of the issues here. All right. What would change the situation for Taurus and this person? Saying, look at you running through the rain there. You and them. There's some ankle biters there too. You know, if you have some of those with them, then you might need to bring them along. But Ten of Cups is a very powerful card in the tarot. It's most certainly probably not going on in this situation. But it is describing emotional bonds. Now, those bonds typically have to be built over time. But what it is suggesting is that even if you've lost that chemistry and spark with this person, if you had enough time with them, they were probably built at some point. Granted, maybe lost now, but it's implying it could be restored. It might help. It might be hinting overall, Taurus, that one of the biggest problems is that there's just a genuine emotional loss or disconnection between the both of you. So, you know, that may be kind of like a focal point and like, what's the point? Why give a shit? I mean, Taurus doesn't care. I do think in some ways there is some possibility here this person still does care, Taurus, but yeah. Whether anyone's going to do anything about this situation, I don't know. You be the judge of that. Alright. Could be some mystery around that. So I got for you, Taurus. Thanks for watching. Gemini. How are my lovely Gemini doing? Alright. I just don't give Gemini enough attention. I really don't. Maybe I'll throw an extra card for your reading. Tell me about the person our Geminis are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? So it says Knight of Pentacles reversed. It's suggesting an individual that it just keeps going at a snail's pace, Gemini. Or maybe it's, I mean, this really could be talking about who the hell knows what. I'm at a million different possibilities here. But the overall energy is describing things going backwards, delays, snail's pace. You know, could have been an individual that you invested time into, Gemini, but it just didn't move forwards. It's like, didn't matter if there was one problem, you solved it, and it still didn't move forwards. Or another one popped up. Maybe it was like whack-a-mole. Whack-a-problem, you know? That's got to be frustrating because it's like people oftentimes look at relationships as how healthy it is based on the progress. You know, are we moving in together? Check. Was I taken out to dinner? Check. Did I get a diamond ring? Check. Now, if you're not getting any of those things, am I going backwards? Check. Should I be difficult with this person? Check. Should I watch your tarot reading at Aurawest Tarot? Check. Tell me about this person our Geminis are finding difficult to deal with. How do they feel towards Gemini? So we have the High Priestess and the Two of Swords that wanted to come out. How else do they feel about Gemini? This person that Gemini's not talking with. This person's wondering if communication will ever happen between the both of you. Alright? Whoever this individual is does spend a lot of time in their mind. So it is kinda suggesting you do hold a little bit of real estate in their mind. It may just be a small patch, Gemini, so don't get your hopes up, but it is suggesting there is a little garden patch with your name on it in their mind. Alright? But it is kind of showing some unknown energy with this Two of Swords. The problem with the Two of Swords is, like, even though it sometimes can talk about a complicated decision, it can also just talk about a blank mind. Like, I mean, deciding not to choose is a decision. So, now, this oftentimes can talk about an individual that has interacted with you and found that, like, maybe when they're dealing with you, there are some good times and good things, but there's also some negatives that they're finding frustrating. Either things you don't like about them, or things they don't like about you, or I don't know. Some issue that could have gone around in circles, but whatever the case is, it kind of seems like it's just got to a point where they don't know, right? The Knight of Swords here is horizontal. It is going over the High Priestess, which can probably suggest that there's some thought in their mind about whether or not you're going to recontact them, or if they're going to reach out to you, who knows. And with the Knight of Swords, it can also talk about sudden, unexpected communication. Will Gemini get off of that couch and reach out to me? I don't know. Why is this person not talking with Gemini? The person that's kind of at a stalemate with Gemini. We have Death here. Why are they not talking with Gemini? Probably because Gemini won't shut up after they reach out. It says Five of Cups. So it shows them somewhat disappointed, Gemini. I mean, per the tarot, the Five of Cups is mourning energy. This person may, hopefully, has some resemblance of a heart to embody this energy, suggesting that they may see the situation as a bit of a loss, or it's going in that direction where it's, we may never be a thing again. Alright. Do I think this person's actually kneeling on the ground, mourning your name? Probably not. But again, there's still some thought that it's more of a bummer. That really sucks it didn't work out. How would Gemini describe this person in one card? It says someone, and it went over the Five of Cups, suggesting the tarot would describe it as you saw this person as someone that it was also very disappointing for you to end, Gemini, or it was disappointing it didn't work out, but you're healing or moving past it. Four of Swords can just be that timeout. Alright. Maybe giving them a little silent treatment in your room. That's like them. And Gemini's like, silent treatment, bitch. Don't care. Hopefully you're not cold-hearted like that, Gemini. Will this person reach out to Gemini? Probably not, because they're it's kind of suggesting they're wondering if you're going to reach out. Will this person that Gemini is not talking with potentially reach out to Gemini? Why does it say Death reversed? So we have the King of Swords reversed. What does that mean for Gemini? What does it mean? What does Death reverse and King of Swords reverse mean for Gemini? So, isn't that odd? I kind of get the sense, Gemini, that it's kind of implying that this person probably won't. Okay, they may be stubborn. The Death reverse doesn't, like, in my opinion, tell me much here. Other than it's still reverting back to this kind of energy, talking about there's something about the past that's bothering this person or whatever. What's odd here is it kind of more implies the Gemini has kind of transitioned away from whatever this connection was, but it's kind of implying on their side that they haven't so much done that. Alright. But perhaps you may need to reach out to this person. It's saying Five of Wands reversed though, so it's kind of implying don't engage in any drama or conflict. So we have Two of Wands here. If Gemini reaches out to this person and doesn't engage in any conflict, what can we expect? Three of Swords. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? Let's use a different deck. Why does the Three of Swords happen? Goes over the King of Swords reverse. Well, okay, maybe don't reach out to them. It kind of implies, it doesn't per se give us pinpoint accuracy on what it's suggesting here, Gemini, but what it is kind of hinting at is that even if you reach out to this person in a non-conflicted way, it's kind of implying that some mention of the breakup or separation or something will still come to light. Alright? It goes over this King of Swords reversed, and there's the Ten of Swords, which is quite a negative energy because it can talk about bad endings, which this person apparently is frustrated about something and getting over it. So, and we have the Death reversed. So, what does that mean essentially? It basically says that even if you reached out to this person, this individual is not over something. So they're going to bring up whatever this issue is. Okay. So the tarot's basically saying, until that's cleared out, maybe this isn't worth pursuing. Now, on the other hand, you could attempt to resolve that issue, and it might go somewhere. Now, the problem also here, that I just want to emphasize, is the way that I'm describing this. Oh my god, the dog is just ruining it. Shut up. I'm trying to do an important tarot reading here. Way more important than your barking. The kind of the dilemma here, Gemini, is that it's like some of you may feel like this person's to blame and it's their problem or issue or whatever like that. I don't know if that's the case. Alright? All this is really saying is this person feels like they've got some type of issue they're having a hard time getting over. I don't know what that is, right? Maybe they're just irritated about something. Who knows? But it's saying like that has to be resolved. So one of two things is really going to happen. You're either going to entertain it or you're not. All right? Now, use your judgment where this applies, all right? Clearly, if this person just left one day and didn't give a random shit, then this is probably not your reading. All right? But anyways, that's what I got for you, Gemini. Who knows what will happen with this? Looks like you got a very stubborn king here. Poor me! Poor me! All Gemini's fault. Well, is it? Just kidding. I'm just throwing fuel on the fire, honestly. Alright. It most certainly is not my fault. Cancer. I'm going to use the Darkwood Tarot for you. You know, the heavy hitter deck. I just don't want to damage my other cards because most times your readings are quite dysfunctional. Anyways, tell me about the person our Cancers are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? Says judgment. So this is probably an individual that you made a very firm declaration to. I'm never going to be with you again. This card always reminds me of Titanic, the Gothic version of Titanic. But I really don't. I mean, I guess it was a lesbian Titanic version. I mean, there's two women there. I don't know what that's about. Probably her shadow. Anyways. Dorothy! Wait, Jack? No, it is me, Dorothy. Sorry. Alright, back to the reading. Tell me about this person, our Cancers, I'm assuming made some type of judgment against. How does this person feel towards Cancer? Two of Pentacles reversed, and how else do they feel towards Cancer? Death reversed. We have Seven of Swords reversed. Let me show the Death reversed again. We also have Page of Cups upright. Tell me about the Death reversed. Why are they feeling that? Tower reversed. Why does this person have interest in the Page of Cups towards Cancer? Their energy doesn't really make a whole lot of sense here. Queen of Swords. This person seems to want to come towards you, oddly enough, Cancer, but it is kind of highlighting that there's some factors, and this energy is kind of carried in the other readings to some extent, where this person is reflecting on there's some type of problem or set of problems that they've encountered with you that haven't been resolved. This could have been relating to when you guys ended things officially or left the situation, or if there was a sudden ending. For some of you, this could have been a connection with a person, especially where there was a sudden ending. All right. Even though the Tower is reversed, it's still kind of talking about unresolved energy. And this person kind of feels like, I don't know, you're some type of individual. They've also had a lot of things up in the air with they may have also felt that there was issues that were kind of, again, just avoided or just not dealt with. not addressed. One would ask, what kind of situation would this apply to? I have no idea, all right? But that's what it's kind of implying. Irregardless of whatever that energy is suggesting, it is still saying that this person does kind of want to come towards you. The Page of Cups can tell us maybe it's an apology, maybe it's to make up or just kind of smooth things over. You know? Maybe this person just wants to reach out and just kind of start slow. Hey, can I butter your toast for you? Let's have a little talk. How's about a coffee? Now, do not collect $200. Do not pass go. This person may feel that you are difficult, Cancer, or probably likely to be very guarded towards them. What is this person's concern? The person that Cancer's not talking, what is their concern around this past energy that looks like it's unresolved? Card comes out. Page of Pentacles. For things to move forwards. What do we learn here, Cancer? This person does still want to move things forwards with you, but they're seeing some situation from the past as being a major problem. Bummer. Why are they not talking with Cancer? Why are they not talking? The person Cancer's not talking with, why are they not talking with Cancer? No? Two of Cups reversed because your bond with each other, your contract is over. Come on, go out. So it's just saying they're not talking because they see the connection is over. All right. How does the tarot suggest Cancer sees this person? It says the moon energy. So the moon here can probably suggest that you do have probably some thoughts about whoever this is, or you wonder what they're up to, or why they did what they did, or you really just have no idea whatsoever of where they really stand or what they're doing. You may also, for a portion of you, may theorize or speculate that they're doing certain things when it's probably likely they're not. That won't apply to all of you. All right. You also, for others of you, may wonder potentials around this person. Well, like if they did come back around, what would I do? Would I just give them the whole speech on why I'm not interested? Some of you just have no stance or no real stance on the matter. You just don't know. What to think. Will this person reach out to Cancer? Goes over Two of Cups reversed. Five of Swords. I'm going to lean towards no. Two possibilities. The first one is to likely no, and one of the Two of Cups reversed, implying that you guys are over. This person may feel it is a source of conflict if they were to come back around or pop their head. All right. Irregardless of that, we still have that Page energy there, suggesting that there is some thought in their mind that they would like to come around, but there's probably a higher concern that it would just lead to problems. All right. Now, the other possibility I was talking about is this can talk about the Five of Swords, somebody that plays games. All right. But I mean, that's a bit of a long shot here. So I suppose if you know this person as to be a little bit crazy, a little bit stalkerish, it is possible this person may kind of play some games possibly because the connection's over and it's annoying or aggravating them, right? You know, the Five of Swords energy can sometimes also describe ex-partners that end up doing things that aren't really healthy or don't make sense, but why it's happening is because they're pissed off or irritated. All right, so it's kind of like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna make your life a little, you know, ruin what's going on for you. All right, but that's a less likely option. All right, why am I saying it's less likely? Because the energy is actually suggesting more that this person, if they could, would come around to you. So I don't think their overall intent is to try and make your life hell. But jealousy could be a thing too. All right. What's something we don't know about Cancer in this person? Why does it say the Nine of Pentacles? It says Two of Wands. What does that mean for Cancer? It's again saying Moon. What does it mean for this person? So it's highlighting that there's some choice that's being made, but again, because there's some type of uncertainty at play here, or some unknown factors. What is the relevance of the Nine of Pentacles to this person? Ace of Pentacles. I remember that. I'm not entirely sure with the Nine of Pentacles what its role is here, Cancer. Other than that, it can be implying something to do with the Ten of Pentacles, because the 9 is one away from the 10. It can talk about bachelors, bachelorettes. You combine this with the Ace of Pentacles, there's some desire for Ten of Pentacle energy. This person may be still wondering if there's a possibility you and them will be a thing. That's my guess here, Cancer. Overall, I think this person isn't done with you, all right? I think you'll hear from them in some way, shape, or form. This is most going to apply to a Cancer that's had an on and offer with this person before, all right? If that's been the case, I would actually expect at some point this person may come around to you. How they're going to do it, I don't know. Good luck to you, Cancer. You must really want their Cancer. You want that crab. You want to pour that butter over the crab. Butter baste that crab after the bread. Butter baste my crab. Leo! Alright. Hope all of my lions and my tigers are doing well. Whatever you identify with, and you're perfectly okay to identify as a tiger on this channel. I just have to say lions, just to kind of cover my ass a little bit, so I don't get an email. Are you aware that we are, in fact, lions? Okay. Tell me about the person our Leos, our bargain tigers, our discount tigers are not talking with. Our frugal tigers. It says 7 of Cups. This tells me nothing, really. What does that even mean from Leo? Okay, so it's talking about the King of Wands reversed. It's talking about an individual that's very indecisive or can't make their mind up. Now, given that it's showing it is in Wands energy, this may be a king that for some of you probably get frustrated with, annoyed with, and really in some other world would love it if you could just maybe change some certain factors essentially to get this person to be compliant or consistent. But, you know, we don't live in that world, so it's just a fantasy maybe. But this may be a desirable person that has other traits. You know, it's like, they would be so great, you know, if they would just stop doing this or stop doing that. All right. You know, King of Wands can also talk about just something about the individual. Even if they're not the most successful person, that is desirable. All right? Just something about them. Maybe it's their attitude. Maybe it's the way that they wear a certain t-shirt or a certain hat that just gets you rendy. I don't know. Shows Devil reversed as well. This may have been a person that you were able to get away from, Leo, but boy, it might have been difficult. It could have been a lot of, you know, devil energy at one point, suggesting like it was probably a tumultuous connection. Or, again, could it have been this person facilitating a lot of it? Maybe. But at the end of the day, it takes two to tango, meaning even if one person is really the bad one, it does also imply that there is another person participating in it. All right. Tell me about this person that our Leos are not talking with. This Seven of Cups. We have Death here. I'm going to put that back. I didn't even ask the question. How does this person feel towards Leo? This person that's being described as Seven of Cups going to King of Wands reversed to Devil reversed. How do they feel towards Leo? Five of Swords reversed. Interesting. How else do they feel? Two of Wands. Tell us about the Two of Wands. What is the right wand? We have Eight of Wands. And what is the left wand for this person? So we have Queen of Wands reversed. And we also have Ace of Wands reversed. We'll take that. We also have Justice reversed, but I won't take that. I sometimes just really want to throttle that dog. You know. It's like, anytime I do a tarot reading, gotta go and bark. Just can't help it. Can't help it. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted here. So this person and their feelings, Leo, what's interesting is that they see the potential of things suddenly restarting between the both of you, or the potential of that. How they are working that out in their head, who knows? Something around that, where they're looking at what does it look like between me and Leo getting back together or talking again or doing something. But on the other hand, it's showing Queen of Wands reversed going to Ace of Wands reversed, implying just a direct hard stop. In other words, it's probably suggesting you just have no interest in this person anymore, or you're not going to entertain it. You're not even going to allow it to start. All right? Once again, why would that probably be the case? I would assume if there was a bad experience or something like that where you had to kind of say we're done. All right? The Five of Swords reversed can also just kind of be suggesting a kind of remaining neutral or just not re-engaging and causing more drama. You know, this person may also be aware, especially for if there was a tumultuous kind of connection between you and this person, they may be aware that it was kind of pretty disastrous, or there was like factors that, you know, didn't go too well. Maybe it was both of you going at each other, or maybe it was their behavior. I just cannot stand this little glare. I just don't know how to fix it. Look at that. What the fuck? One of these days, I'm going to get this whole setup squared away. We're not going to ever have these disruptions, I swear. I'm going to get the room soundproofed. We get a proper lighting. It's just not this year, right? Anyways, so this person overall is very conflicted when it comes to you, Leo. I don't know, it kind of seems to me like there's some part of them wanting to move forwards with you, or at least try. But there's a larger portion of them that's kind of, in my opinion, like energy that's suggesting maybe you should just be careful here and just let it go, or not pick at it. Which tells me like they're kind of expecting in some ways for you to be reactive towards them, but just not in a good way. Why is this person not talking with Leo? Why is this person not talking with Leo? It says 6 of Cups. Clarify the 6 of Cups. Person may be like doing their own thing. I don't know if it's suggesting they're just socializing, hanging out with other people, or exploring other options. Both of those cards can talk about positive things. Another card comes out. 2 of Cups. So this person may be exploring another option for a partnership. So my assumption is that they are on the market. Tarot really rarely ever kind of suggests stuff like this. Then why, if they're on the market, why are they showing up in Leo's reading? Because you're the ex, it says. Well, it says something you don't know. Will this person reach out to Leo? It says no, they'll hold back. We have strength here. Why does Leo even care then? I know there's moon energy, but why would Leo even care about this person? What's the good news here, Spirit? If any. What is the good news? Is there any good news? Anything that's worthwhile about this person? Goes over the moon. Strength reverse. Why is this? That's not good news. What does that mean for Leo? I don't see how that's good news. What does that mean for Leo? Says out in the cold. I don't know how that's good news for you. I really don't. But the problem is it's going to the moon energy. So it's talking about things may not appear as they seem. Why would it be good news, Spirit, that Leo is separated from this person? Again, those 4 of Swords. It's 4 of Pentacles reverse. It's not telling us. So it's probably implying that's the wrong question to ask. Because again, that just talks about moving on or releasing a past relationship. What can Leo expect from this person? It says silence. I don't know, Leo. I don't know what to tell you. Somehow that's good that you stay away from this person. All right. Yeah. What do we learn from this reading overall? Whoever this individual is seems to be probably somebody you had a tumultuous connection with that was an in and outer. That's very possible. It shows that this person is likely on the market or looking around for another relationship of some sort. Are you considered an option? Yes, it does actually consider you an option, but not a very high possibility. This person kind of seems to also associate a lot of setbacks or problems, or they know there's going to be some type of problem when interacting with you. All right. The tarot's kind of suggesting they'll hold back. All right. For whatever reason, it seems to think that's a good thing for you. How that is, maybe it's time for you, gives you time to kind of move on or something else to come in the picture. I don't know. All right. That's what I got for you, Leo. Good luck to you. All right. Virgo. Tell me about the person our Virgos are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? What can we know? So it just says Ten of Swords reversed. We have some Gemini energy there. So this must have been an individual that you had, probably not the best ending with, Virgo. But the Ten of Swords reversed can talk about whatever that issue was. It's kind of transitioned away from that. The swords are coming out. That's always good. All right. But it still doesn't change the fact that it's implying that there was some degree of feeling hurt. For some of you, it may have been betrayal. For others of you, it may have just, I don't know, been a bad ending. All right. Okay, so typically with this energy too, it's going to be an individual that, left a little mark on your heart. All right, somebody that you have some type of frustration towards. Wasn't a very clean breakup. Something about this person our Virgos are not talking with. How does this person feel towards Virgo? So we have strength. How else do they feel? We have some Leo energy there. So It does show 5 of Cups. This individual does show some type of, I mean, it's hard to say if they're looking at it more so from your standpoint, but there is some type of emotional burden towards you. There may be a degree of disappointment that you guys are not really a thing anymore, Virgo. Even if this person does have that kind of negative feelings towards you, when I say negative feelings, I'm just talking about maybe it's disappointment or sadness. It is kind of implying that even if that was the case, it's either hidden or it's probably likely in the background. With the strength being there, it can talk about overpowering things like that, working through it. This is kind of someone that's probably hiding it behind closed doors. Unlikely would see it. Why is this person not talking with Virgo? They feel like the connection between you guys has unfortunately ended. All right. 10 of Cups is, I had it for another reading. It's a strong card in the tarot. And oftentimes, when does it occur where that connection, that bond is lost? It's from bad situations, something that would tear it apart. All right. The 10 of Cups, if we're really looking at that card and how it plays out in life, it's a connection that's really formed where there's glue. All right, that you and them know each other. We've done stuff together. All right, you know how they laugh or what they do, and they know how you do your little thing or whatever like that. When you come out of the shower, you know, maybe you do I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Something weird after the shower. All right. They know your quirks, or you know what foods you like. You know, they know what kind of things make you laugh and what things don't. All right. That's like that emotional bond that's been built over time, right? So you're not going to just get that from just any random person, all right, that you've known for a couple months or whatever. It's somebody that you've built that with. That's the key word there, built, all right? That's why those bonds are strong. So when they get torn apart, it really needs like a strong anvil of a problem to kind of crash it down. The issue is that it can be difficult to repair those bonds after they're destroyed. But for people that are kind of at that point where it has been disrupted or destroyed in some ways, it can be very upsetting. Because it's a change in routine or something that's changed between you guys. I guess there's no Netflix and cook a nice dinner. Why is this person not talking with Virgo? No, I already answered that. Will this person reach out to Virgo? So the Chariot goes over the 10 of Cups reversed, which tells us that this person, I think, does in some ways have some desire to reach out to you. But the problem is the Chariot can tell us it's either upright or it's reversed here. And it's going over the 10 of Cups reversed, suggesting that they're looking at the emotional disconnection or the romantic kind of loss between the both of you as a real challenge. The question is, can it be worked through? The reversal can tell us that it would be impossible, or they're seeing it as an impossible situation, versus the upright can tell us that maybe there is a chance. You know? But the horizontal here is kind of suggesting they probably don't know. So I'm going to conclude probably they're on the fence right now, and I would lean towards no. Unless this person decides, for whatever reason, that yes, maybe it's possible that they might become motivated again. But what would change that? I don't know. How does Virgo see this person? It says King of Swords reversed. You just feel like they're ignoring you. Some of you feel they're ignoring you, or they just don't say much, or they're very stubborn or resistant. Why is this person in King of Swords reversed energy? It says they... No, there's 2 cards there. I won't take that. I was going to take the 9 of Pentacles, but... Why is this person in the King... I'm still not going to take that. Let's use a different thing. Okay. Tell us about the King of Swords reversed. We have 4 swords, so that can also talk about not talking or just taking a time out. It's not really, though, still what I'm trying to figure out. I was going to ask what you could expect, but it's probably going to give us a similar answer. So that's not going to help, because this person's already kind of just off their own road. What is this person's interest in Virgo, if any? So it says 8 of Wands. It's almost like picking up where you left off. That's good energy. Can talk about strong progression, strong communication, sudden movement, sudden burst of energy. Quick. Why does this person think that's not going to happen? Why do they feel the 8 of Wands is not going to happen with Virgo? It says because it's selling around an opportunity. There's no start yet. Then why don't they just go and do that? Why don't they just go and do the Ace of Pentacles with Virgo? So it says the 9 of Cups reversed. Well, that's Chariot, so. So, it keeps going back kind of to this issue with the emotional disconnection. 9 of Cups reversed can also talk about just depressing times or sex without love, or a situation where it's like, if you were to apply it to you and them, it's like, well, coming back, but we still have this disconnect between the both of us. I don't really know how it gets solved. I see what it's kind of saying, but I don't know of a solution around that. I mean, I don't know. It kind of almost suggests that, like, if somehow you guys were, you know, back in each other's graces when it, you know, came to the bond between each other, then it would be no problem. This person would want to start that. But because they see it as something that's, like, damaged or broken, it's like, why bother? Can't do it. I don't know. I don't know, Virgo. That's what I got for you. All right. There's just some things I don't know. That's my take on this reading. All right. Leave a like if you got something out of it. I just don't see this person doing a whole lot overall. I think they do kind of want to, but they're seeing that issue that I obviously discussed to death already. All right. Good luck to you. Libra. Tell me about the person our Libras are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? It says the Five of Cups. Man, this card has just wanted to come out for like every reading. Alright. This may have been an individual that was disappointing. You know, Five of Cups is pretty heavy energy in the tarot. I mean, it is a depressing kind of energy. It does talk about loss, ruin, or bummer. There's varying extremes of this energy. It really kind of depends on what kind of cards are coming out. So I don't know in context of how bad the energy really is, but it does just talk about, let's just sum it up as a disappointment. All right, it's a person that was disappointing, or just didn't go in the right direction, I suppose. Enough to cry about. May not have been crying in alligator tears for some of you, but hey, you know, the situation sucks. It sucks. All right. Sometimes things just don't work out how they're supposed to. All right. So it's highlighting some person that was disappointing. Tell us about this person our Libras were disappointed with or were bummed out about. How does that person feel towards Libra? How do they feel? We have the Queen of Wands reversed here. Let's take that. I have Four of Cups reversed. And how else do they feel? So we have Two of Wands. I'm going to split the deck and take that. Okay. Let's get one from Darkwood. One card from Darkwood. And, well, I'll split the deck on Two of Cups here. Take that also. Why do they feel the Two of Wands? How does this person that's not talking with Libra see Libra? Star reversed. What is the left one talking about? Goes over the Queen. Delays with the Queen. Overall, what it's suggesting here, Libra, is that whoever this individual is kind of sees you as somebody that A, is not taking action towards them, B, seems to be uninterested or moved on. Alright? They may be, is there a C here? The C is probably suggesting that you may not be communicating with this person or have no interest to do so. Alright? When it comes to this individual, they see the Two of Wands energy, but it's describing the possibility of things turning around, but perhaps working on what, I don't know. I'm assuming issues between the both of you, but something around that. Things turning around. We have Wheel of Fortune there. But the left is kind of suggesting that it went back to the Queen of Wands reversed. So that was the left one, but it went to the Queen of Wands reverse. So it's almost implying that they don't see anything moving forward between the both of you. So one choice is some spontaneous possibility. It just fucking flips around, excuse my language. And the other is that you just remain resistant or you have no interest, right? Okay, if the Queen doesn't want to move forwards, then you're stuck. It just goes nowhere, all right? So this person really doesn't have the highest optimism, I would say, towards you, Libra. Alright, the Star reverse is also maybe suggesting a Libra that isn't willing to talk with this person or doesn't have much interest to talk with this person. Whether that's actually true or not is another story, alright? This person just overall seems to have a general impression that you're not that interested. Or you're just doing your own thing, alright? We have Out in the Cold energy. There's Libra inside, and there's them. You just lock them out. In sub-zero temperatures, so most likely they're going to freeze to death, but Libra is just like, I don't care. Who cares? Who cares? I'm watching a carrot video. Go away. All right. Will this person reach out to Libra? I'm going to say no. We have the Two of Swords here. This really kind of tells us, Libra, that they're pretty much at a fork in the road kind of dilemma here. Now, the only tricky part about this is that it seems like the one side of it is suggestive that their stance is you're not going to do much. But the other side is kind of implying a possibility. But when it comes to like people not having decisive information, you know, oftentimes those decisions don't get made. Because it's almost like this person's waiting for, maybe it will, maybe something will just change. Well, how long is that? That could be like next year. So what are they going to do? Just sit at the fucking fork in the road for a year? So that's the problem there. That's kind of what I was trying to say. I just kind of made it very complicated. But I think this person's just kind of leaving it in limbo right now. So I don't expect them to do much, and it probably suggests in some ways they may not even reach out. They're just kind of, I guess we'll see what happens. How does Libra see this person that they're not talking with? So it shows the Queen of Cups horizontal. Some of you may don't really know if you still have feelings for this person, but given that it could go up or down, it may suggest that some of you are just on the fence. Which tells me again, you're, like them, are also kind of at a crossroads in some ways. Where it's a waiting energy in some ways to see if something spontaneously changes. And then, depending on what changes, will determine if I care or I don't care. Alright. I'm not sure overall what to think here, Libra. This sounds like a situation that's at a standstill. What is going to break the ice? No idea. Good luck to you. That's what I got for you. Alright. Sorry to leave you with a cliffhanger, but that's kind of what it's implying here. Alright. Scorpio. Coming out the person our Scorpios are not talking with. Who is this person? Who are they? What can we know? So we have the Knight of Cups reversed. This is an individual that has demonstrated or has not really done much towards you or come towards you. There are negative things about the Knight of Cups being reversed, but we don't have any cards yet to really know what's implied. So the only thing I can really, off the top of my head, think of is that this person just hasn't made any effort to, you know, come towards you in a kind or loving or suggestive kind or loving way. And this could also be true if it's somebody that you've known in the past that typically reaches out or they do it themselves. Like, hey, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? You want to hang out? Maybe you just you kind of just noticed crickets, you know? Either that or even the crickets left. And you're like, where are the crickets? Tell about this person that seems to be disinterested in our Scorpio. How do they feel towards Scorpio? They feel like it's a bit of a burden when dealing with you. Well, how do they feel? Three of Cups reversed. Boy. Well, that might explain the Knight of Cups being reversed here. So, what is the issue here? This person's not seeing any upside when it comes to you, Scorpio. There's no motivating reason right now suggesting for them to have interest in you. How does this person see Scorpio? Queen of Wands, that's positive. So the fact they see you as Queen of Wands, though, kind of probably suggests, though, that if you are actually in that energy, they kind of see that you're independent, you're doing your own thing. But you know, the Queen of Wands is somebody that doesn't really let burdens or past relationships and things hold her down. She's kind of just like, whatever, I'm over it. So that may necessarily not be good in this context, because it's kind of implying to this person, like, you know, it probably suggests there's, like, you've kind of just thrown the connection in the garbage. It's done. You're done with it. Or you just don't have much interest in it anymore. Okay. You're on to bigger and better things, with an emphasis on bigger. Why is this person not talking with Scorpio? So it says the 9 of Wands reversed. Okay, we got to figure out what this 10 of Wands, 9 of Wands reversed energy is about. What is it that they have an issue with when it comes to Scorpio in relation to 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands reversed? What is the burden that is bothering them so much? Well, 9 of Pentacles reversed. That doesn't really tell me anything, though. Let's use the Crow Tarot. I gotta be careful how I ask these questions, because depending on how you ask it, really does determine whether you're going to get a good answer or not. What is causing the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands reversed energy for this person when it comes to Scorpio? It's saying conflict. There we go. Thank you, Spirit, for that clarification. Or tension of some sort. So for some of you, okay, for a small portion of you Scorpios that, you know, get around, or you just have a lot of options towards you, this person may find that very frustrating, that they feel that there's other probably suitors that interfere or are maybe hitting you up, and it just makes things difficult, right? That's only for a small percentage of you out there, all right? For others of you, this person may just feel that there's some type of struggle or conflict when they try to interact with you, whether that's disagreements with each other, or maybe you point something out about them, or maybe you have certain expectations, or there's been some problems or things like that that you try to work through with them, but it's some type of conflict or friction. The problem is, I don't specifically know what it is that it's referring to. I just know that it exists. It's saying that there's some type of friction. So when they get with you, it's like, it's almost seeming like it's unavoidable. What is the problem around the 5 of Wands energy? It says things become one-sided. Oh boy. This is one of those conflicting situations where it's essentially could go either way. Because whenever there's one-sidedness, most times it's going to be both parties that are going to say the same thing. So this could be a Scorpio that feels strongly and passionately that this person just didn't really do much. But if you were to go and ask this person in private, they would have a change of opinion and actually point out all the things that you were doing that they felt were one-sided. This is like that scenario, for example, where you withhold sex from them. So then they say, well, you're being, you didn't love them, you didn't care, and that's why you're doing it. But then from your standpoint, you're saying, well, I was doing it because I felt that you were not giving me enough attention, or I felt that you were, I don't know, doing something behind my back, and therefore I was pissed off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but from their standpoint, it's like you're doing it deliberately to spite them. This seems like it's one of those kind of situations. How you resolve those, I don't know. I really don't. I didn't have enough money for a crystal ball, but let me tell you something. If I did, I'd be asking it right now. Maybe I'll just get one of those magic 8 balls instead. They're a lot cheaper. You can get one at Walmart. You can use it for advising during these kind of situations. Will this person reach out to Scorpio? Yay or nay? We have 3 of Wands here. I'm going to take that as probably a no. This card can talk about forward progression, some communication, but the problem is that the surrounding energy kind of suggests no. And this card can also talk about waiting around. Alright? What will this person be waiting for? A magical solution, possibly. Scorpio to become a unicorn. Grant them wishes. Maybe you come out of a genie lamp. I don't know. I don't know what this person's waiting around for, but they may, I still think long term or a couple months from now, who knows, this person I think still will have some interest in you. Alright, I just don't know right now. It suggests that it may not do much. What would change things? What's a wild card? What would change things between Scorpio and this person? It goes over the Queen of Wands, so it's talking about something about with you. So, Queen of Cups reversed. So, if we assume that the Queen of Cups was upright towards this person, what would happen? 6 of Cups over 3 of Wands. It would push things forwards. So, it is suggesting what would change this situation is essentially your emotional affection towards them. Why this is important, both of these, if that was the case, would be powerful cards to reigniting chemistry and a connection. Only issue is that does it address this problem? I don't know. Because whenever there's one-sidedness or whatever like that, people playing sides with each other, there's never pretty much any progression in a connection. It just stalls at that point. Alright. I mean, use your judgment there. Obviously, there's reasons when a heart is closed off to somebody, all right? But that's what it's saying, all right? Take it or leave it. All right. Give me a like if you got something out of that, Scorpio. Capricorn, who this person might be. 7 of Wands. It just came out. Alright? This may be an individual of some sort that you're somewhat resistant to, or on guard to, or I don't want to go as far as saying defensive because I don't know, but you may just be cautious towards this individual. All right. Tell us about this person our Capricorns are not talking with. This person that suggests you're kind of on guard to or distant from. How does this person feel towards you? How do they feel towards our Capricorns? Person our Capricorns are not talking with, how does this person feel towards Capricorn? It says 10 of Wands. My God, we have had this card. I've lost count at this point. It's almost like in every reading. This person feels that things are quite burdensome when dealing with you. I mean, if you're holding a literal club, I suppose it would be a bit of a burden. Perhaps Capricorn was like, I'm only going to carry just this one. You can carry the others. Person may be quite irritated about that. How else do they feel towards Capricorn? Person that's not talking with Capricorn, how else do they feel towards you? So we have the Eight of Wands here is horizontal. Give me another card. Let me let the dog out here. Come on, out you go. Oh, come on, doing a reading. Come on, out you go. Person our Capricorns are not talking with. How else does this person feel towards Capricorn? So we have the Six of Cups. Good. So there are some fond memories of you, Capricorn. Why does this person think things are delayed? We have Moon energy. A lot of unknowns when it comes to you, Capricorn. Okay. The Moon has also shown up in quite a few readings today, suggesting that there's a lot of mystery during this time period of some sort. Whoever this individual is kind of just looks at you as a little bit of a gray area or an unknown situation. But one thing that is clear is there's some type of tension or like difficulty when dealing with you. All right. The Eight of Wands being horizontal there probably suggests that, again, this person is unsure whether things are actually ever going to pick up again or not. All right. I had the Seven of Pentacles come out. I don't know why, but I guess we'll just put it up top here. Tell us about this person that's not talking with Capricorn. Why are they not talking with Capricorn? It just says Nine of Wands reversed. So it's difficult for things to move forward, it says, or it's not going, there's no energy being invested into the situation anymore. All right. It's also possible this person gets a sense that the situation has become too unstable, where it's an in and outer kind of gig. Maybe there has been attempts to talk with you, but it dies as soon as, maybe it's like 5 lines of text between the both of you and then we're done. We don't hear from each other again. Maybe it's like, hey, taking a shit right now. Oh. You done? And you got no more replies after that. Okay? Could be something like that. Maybe not like that. Ten of Swords. Oh, God, that was a mean shit. I'm just kidding. Alright, sorry, that was very lower. Alright, enough about that. I mean, the timing of that just looked weird. Yeah, something about like a stop and go here. I'm not entirely sure where the Ten of Swords energy comes in here. We'll just leave that at the top. What is this person's interest in Capricorn? The person that's not talking with Capricorn, what is their interest? What is their interest? So we have hangman energy. So tell us, so this could be good here. Tell us about how they see things. They see a potential. That's exactly what I thought I was going to say. So it's basically saying that this person has some scenario in their head where this, you and them, actually go somewhere. But they're examining that kind of imaginary world and how that actually transpires and how it happens. What's the problem with that? It's highly unlikely it's actually going to play out anything like what they're thinking in their head. Because most times when people do that, they're kind of living in the world where it's like, if I could get with Capricorn and just, I'm going to just tweak this, tweak that, and if Capricorn would just mysteriously do this, not do this, and things would just, this is what would happen then Capricorn in my head is going to be like smiling and happy, and I'm happy, and I'm getting the best sex life I've ever had. Capricorn's rolling in money, loving life, greatest relationship. Maybe they have some crazy scenario in their head where that's a possibility, but in reality, it's probably not going to play out like that. All right. So I think this person does, on the positive, see potential that if certain things fell into place, it's possible that they see a future with you. They just got to probably convince you of how great their vision is. You want to join? How does Capricorn see this person they're not talking with? You see this person as quite a bit of disappointment. I have Three of Swords, or a person that you separated from, but it was not a very good ending. So it's probably implying a lot of Capricorns just don't have the greatest opinion of this person. What's a wild card factor here? It is suggesting some type of energy. Look at that. One would ask if old spirit is probably having something to do with it. I know this is not spirit technically per se in the background here, but with temperance, it can probably suggest some hint that things might play out where there's a scenario between you and them when they, they come to your aid. Like, in other words, the universe creates some situation that's very unexpected where it just happens that you need their help, or they come to your assistance. Who knows? Hey, I see you on the ground there, totally naked here, but need a hand? I guess. I haven't talked to you in an awfully long time, but given the circumstances, I guess so. Yeah, no problem. No problem, just take my hand. Take my wand. There's my wand. So maybe he's handing that wand to you. Why would I think a situation like that would even remotely and possibly happen is if somebody is manifesting it into existence. Potentially this person, because it probably suggests that they're thinking about some scenario that probably won't happen, but who knows? Maybe if the gods or the universe change something, there's a possibility. Anyways, that's what I got for you, Capricorn. Interesting reading. I do think I don't think this person will reach out to you, but I do think there is some weird, mysterious situation that could occur unexpectedly. Whether it'll actually lead to anything is anyone's guess. I don't know. But this person may want it to. See what happens. Aquarius. Tell me about the person our Aquarius are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? So we have the Eight of Cups reversed. Wah wah. This probably suggests here, Aquarius, it's a person that you've attempted to try and make things work with more than once. But the key word here is it didn't work. All right? The issue when it comes to the Eight of Cups energy is that in situations between two people that are romantically involved, if things don't work out, there's really only or two options. You either stay with the person and work it out, or you leave. All right? The idea behind leaving is, this didn't work out, we're done, have a good life, I'm going to go and do my own thing, best of luck to you. All right? But obviously life wouldn't, be life without its mysteries, and people get the curiosity of, but maybe we can make it work. Maybe I was too harsh. And they come back to the situation. Most times in the beginning, most people are willing to work on things or retry it. And this kind of does suggest that. The problem is it's coming back to a situation that you've already seen problems with. Now, the question really is, does it work or does it not work? Most times it goes around in circles, and sometimes it ends up being where people come actually further disconnected from each other. All right? So the Eight of Cups reverse can describe that, where it's like you're coming back to a situation where it's like you're there for who knows what reason. You're not feeling like you're getting a whole lot of joy out of it, but maybe it's a comfort thing or a security thing, or it's a familiarity thing. You just know this person. You don't want to give up on it. You've already spent all this effort and time. You want to waste it. All right? So it's just telling us that this is an individual you've wasted a bit of time. Didn't get probably a lot out of it. All right. We have strength, also kind of probably implying that there was one or multiple issues. It really depends on the situation, but something that you were trying to work through or you're hoping would resolve. Tell me about this person that's being described as Eight of Cups reversed energy that Aquarius is not talking about. How does this person feel towards Aquarius? They feel there's a lot of problems that they don't have the best sense can be resolved, Aquarius. How else could they feel? We have Nine of Cups here. Very strange to see that. Why are they feeling the Nine of Cups? Page of Wands reversed. What does that mean for them? That's all I need to know. What is this Nine of Cups? So we have stress here. What does it mean for Aquarius? Ace of Cups. There is some wondering if this person does wonder if you've started something, Aquarius. It does kind of show them having some. The Nine of Swords is not good because it does talk about horrendous stress sometimes, or just a mind that's getting consumed with worries or doubts or overthinking. All right. I don't personally think that's probably likely going on here, Aquarius, but it is kind of overall suggesting there's some curiosity from this person wondering if you've initiated something. All right. It's kind of weird because it almost implies like this person sees the situation as like a problem that can't be solved, but at the same time it still bothers them that you would potentially maybe find someone else who would be doing something, that's solidifying you and them never being a thing again. Why is this person not talking with Aquarius? It says Ten of Wands, because this energy has been, I think, for almost every reading has shown up in some ways. So it's suggesting some type of burdens, or there's been struggles, or it's just been a struggle to make progress with you. All right. As I said in other readings, sometimes the Ten of Wands can be a good energy. It really just depends. In this particular scenario, you've really got a person here that's seeing it like they're beating a dead horse. So it's likely implying that this person kind of feels like when they're like dealing with you, it's not going anywhere, or it's just, you know, it's more work. Like the work that they put in doesn't really yield anything, or it's not going to. Why they get that sense, I don't know, Aquarius. This person may overthink things as well. How does Aquarius potentially see this person? So it shows Four of Wands, interestingly enough. Why does Aquarius see this person as Four of Wands? Knight of Cups reversed. Some of you may have felt like this, you know, this person wants a connection, but isn't doing anything about it. Okay. There's a lot of connection energy showing up. We got Ten of Cups. Why is that? Why is the Ten of Cups showing up here? The only thing I can't figure out here, Aquarius, is if this is suggesting some sense that you know this person wants the connection, or it's you wanting the connection. It's hard to say. All right. I don't know what to think when it comes to that. How does this person that Aquarius is not talking with feel about the Ten of Cups? So it shows... Oh. Quiet. Sorry about that. Alright. Disruptions. Dog's going crazy. Oh man, where was I at? So we're at the Six of Cups. So it's kind of implying, Aquarius, that this person does have fond memories between you and them. So there's obviously certain things that they still like about you. But so what's the good news here? It is kind of suggesting that with the Ten of Cups, that is positive. It does suggest that there's still some emotions towards you. All right. But I think it's more implying good times, good memories. Why didn't they just come towards Aquarius then? If they have fond memories of Aquarius. Person that's not talking to Aquarius, if they have fond memories and they're interested in the Ten of Cups, why don't they just come towards Aquarius? Goes over the Six of Cups. Nine of Cups. Why does this keep coming up? It's came out twice here. What is that implying? I'm not understanding. This reading's kind of getting like a bit of a mess here, Aquarius. It's talking like it's kind of suggesting something around the give or take between the both of you as being a factor. So it's kind of suggesting like one of the factors is although this person has interest in a connection, it seems like they have fond memories with you and there would be some interest towards you. It's talking about the equal given, like kind of like the ability, I guess, some way between you and them to give to each other as a problem. Okay, there's also 5 of Cups here, or 5 of Pentacles. So, and it's followed by 5 of Cups. Speak of the devil. How does Aquarius feel about the 6 of Pentacles towards this person they're not talking with? So it's showing Hermit energy. So some of you may not have a direct opinion on that. So what am I getting at here? What am I trying to figure out? I'm just trying to essentially figure out where this person's angle is and where you stand on it. What it's basically saying is overall, this person does still have interest in you, but they're seeing it as kind of like a situation that may have no hope in it, all right? They're recognizing that there's some type of problem or issue that's occurred between the both of you that has stalled the situation or has prevented it from moving forward. Because of that, they're worried that in some ways that you may be kind of just doing your own thing or searching for somebody else. All right. In terms of the emotional connection, they still have fond memories of you or something around that. All right. But one of the barriers it's almost implying that's kind of keeping them at a distance is something around you and them being able to cooperate or synergize or give to each other again. This could be especially true for an Aquarius that just kind of feels like, I just don't really owe this person anything and I don't really care. I'm not going to put the same energy in. Because of that, you would just be kind of validating this person's concern. In other words, you're not interested. You're doing your own thing. And furthermore, their hunch about you probably searching for somebody else is probably correct. All right. But it's almost what I'm asking around that it kind of suggests you don't have a strong opinion about that, Aquarius. Meaning that it's not saying you've decided, but you don't really have a definitive opinion on whether you would really kind of, I guess, see you and them having a balanced connection like that again. All right. That's the best I can think of here. Will this person reach out to Aquarius? I'm going to say no. So we already have 2 of Cups reversed here. Will this person reach out to Aquarius? Person that Aquarius is not talking with. So we have Queen of Swords reversed. All right. I'm going to just stick to no, Aquarius. I think this person, the biggest factor and problem here is actually the Aquarius that this person's looking at. They have some type of perception of how you are and how you're probably going to act and what you're probably going to do, Aquarius, which is kind of making their decision for them. What's the issue with that? It may be completely untrue, all right? But the thing is that they seem to have already kind of formulated how you are and what to expect. In other words, they've played the whole scenario out without it actually even playing out. All right. But I gotta be honest though, there could be some truth in what they're thinking because it is almost implying like, again, I don't know if I'm right here, but it is kind of implying some type of I guess thought that you wouldn't really know if you would want to even give to this person again. All right. Which is kind of a problem because I mean you can't like entertain somebody coming around and just be selective on what you will and won't do. It's kind of an all or nothing thing. You know, you either want to try it all the way or you don't want to try it at all. Anyways, that was a mess of a reading, Aquarius. I don't know if you got anything out of that. Hopefully you did. I know that was confusing, but sometimes your readings are. So, good luck to you, Aquarius. I really don't know what's going to happen with that situation, but I just think for now it's not going to go anywhere. Pisces. You were my last sign, and I struggled with Aquarius' reading. That was a mess. Alright, let's hope yours is a little bit better. Tell me about the person our Pisces are not talking with. What do we need to know about this person? Who are they? So it just says death. Alright? This could have been a person that you try to run over with your car, potentially tried to poison their food. I don't know, okay? Or it's just somebody you moved on from, all right? That's possible too, all right? This could also be an individual who had Ace of Pentacles here come out in the High Priestess reverse, suggesting it's a person that, not for all of you, but for some of you, maybe have thought or pondered in your mind about whether there'll be a new start with them. However, you may have heard, for some of you may have heard this from other sources, like maybe someone suggesting it to you, or somebody hinting that they, like rumoring, kind of like that they were, this person that you're interested in was doing this or that. I get that that's not all of you, but I'm just pointing it out as a possibility. The High Priestess reverse can talk about scenarios like that, where it's like you're thinking of something where you've either visually seen it or heard about it from somebody else. So-and-so likes you. Well, that's something that you haven't actually confirmed. You just heard it from that person, but does it influence your decision? Yes. All right. But this can also talk about just erratic thinking or uncertainty. All right. So there is some, again, thought process for some Pisces wondering where things are at, or if this is ever going to start again, or is it over with death energy. But the death can also imply a fresh start as well, depending on, you know, the scenario. Tell us about this person our Pisces are not talking with. How does this person feel towards Pisces? Person being described as death energy. So we have the Seven of Pentacles horizontal here. How else do they feel towards Pisces? We have Devil. Give me one more card on how this person that is not talking with Pisces. And we have Three of Swords. Why is the Seven of Pentacles horizontal? And this person's feelings towards Pisces. Why is it horizontal? So we have the Five of Cups. So this has to be a situation for a Pisces that has, again, I would imagine this is high likelihood for a situation that has had some hint of being toxic, or, you know, like one of those situations that just sometimes doesn't make sense, and why you're together, but you guys love each other in some weird way. Or it's just got, it's like, we have our fights and then they go their separate way and then they come back. One of kind of those gigs. Whatever the case, it's suggesting some connection where there's been a bond with each other, but there's been unhealthy cycles that have led to breakups before. All right, this person's aware of it, but there is some thought process in that, I guess, that's occurring for them where they're looking at what has and hasn't worked. But this is kind of implying that they're looking at both, where they're looking at factors that keep the situation stuck and going around in circles that don't really yield much, and they're looking at factors that are good and could probably lead in a better direction. But what's driving it is because of disappointment, or something that doesn't really actually lead or give much. This seems to be also a person that kind of wonders about you, about why things just keep having the same outcome. All right. They feel in some ways there's also been a lot of just negativity or certain things that haven't gone in the best direction. All right. But there is some emphasis on potential cyclic behavior, meaning it keeps happening. Won't apply to all of you. Just use your judgment there. Right? Tell me about this person that Pisces is not talking to. Why are they not talking to Pisces? So we have 10 of Pentacles upright. Tell us about that. So we have 5 of Pentacles. It said death. How does this person view the 10 of Pentacles with Pisces? Something from the past. So it's almost implying Pisces, this is again another situational thing. I think this person, whoever they are, may have felt either A, potential that you and them could have been something more, all right? But for others of you, you may have actually experienced that, all right? You may have already been there, where you guys are living with each other, all right? And kind of living a we could be married life. It just varies from situation to situation, all right? I get that not everybody was in that position. But whatever the case is, this person does kind of look, it is kind of like a past factor for them. They're seeing it as something that's kind of dead and over, all right? So that's kind of what it's suggesting is a reason why they're not talking. So there's a lot of separation energy here, but it's almost implying with the death energy, like it's a situation that's come to its conclusion already and it's over. All right. It does always, though, raise that potential for a new start. But so far around this year, the only energy that's suggesting that is probably potentially from your side, speculating that maybe it will. Will this person reach out to Pisces? I think it's 50-50 here. It's suggesting a possibility because the Fool. I think you are the only sign, pretty much, that got something positive here. This person, again, why do I think there's a possibility here? Because of the death. I was actually going to mention that even though things come to an end, there's always a possibility for a new chapter. This person may actually have some interest to try things again with you. All right. We have 9 of Wands reversed come out here. I'm not actually take that. Yeah, we'll just... What is the advice for Pisces? So it goes to 7 of Pentacles again. Why is that a factor? I know it's a factor because it was showing up in their feelings as well. So we have Hermit. Now, a card comes out, but it goes over the 3 of Swords double. About a new start. So, it's highly suggestive here, if we look at this. If this situation applies to you, Pisces, it's talking about some factor from the past that ended you both. In other words, it didn't work. It's saying a new start, probably initiated by them, could occur, but very important to plan wisely on how this goes the next time around, if you choose to engage it with them. I don't know which Pisces this will actually apply to, but hey, you'll know when you know. My thinking is it's kind of overall suggesting if certain things change, it's a possibility this could go in a different direction. I do actually think this person does have some interest for some type of connection with you that could probably, you know, go somewhere. I don't normally say that, but there is possibility here, but it's just a case of whatever that suggestion is referring, I don't know, it's probably suggesting like there's certain things you and them do that maybe if it was tweaked, maybe it was something to do with this devil energy, it could lead to a different outcome, alright? Anything else? Anything else? We have Six of Pentacles here. Why does that matter? I already know probably why it's suggesting that, but so it's also highlighting one more thing here, Pisces. Cooperation with each other is going to be very important. All right, it's showing Devil reversed. I see this a lot when I ask about kind of the Devil energy in past readings, and it oftentimes is talking around where it's one-sided situations, or it's imbalanced in that two people come together and one feels that they're doing more than the other. All right. Whenever that kind of issue is going on, it immediately causes one person to kind of be standoffish or more closed off. Like, you're not getting this, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not going to act in this way because you're not doing this. You're not giving me what I want. I asked for you to give me a phone call at night. You never did. Now you're not getting this. Now it starts turning in that like lopsided behavior, and it leads to these cycles that just kind of lead to nothing. All right. It is giving a hint, I think, around that. All right. So you be the judge of that. If that is the case, where you felt maybe that you weren't really getting your slice of the pie. Well, how that gets fixed, I don't know. Maybe you got to talk about it with them if this opportunity does happen. All right. Anyways, that's what I got for you, Pisces. Just take it or leave it. I do potentially see this person reaching out to you. There is still interest in you. All right. But which Pisces this applies to, who knows? All right. Good luck to you, Pisces. Thanks for watching. You are my last sign. I will see all of you on the next video.